Quando!
Hi everybody, welcome to the Creator Love channel. I'm Creator Love, and today I'm going to be addressing hedgehog care. There are a couple people who have been asking to see the new hedgehog because my other hedgehog, Herbie, had to be exchanged at the pet store. It's a very odd situation, but because he was very aggressive, I don't know if it's still there, but there's scars and stuff. He made me bleed and everything. The pet store exchanged him. And so I have a new hedgehog today, but I have the same cage setup, so I thought I'd show you guys exactly how the cage looks and how the setup is in case you're thinking of doing your own. So here is a hedgehog cage. Alright guys, so here's my hedgehog cage, and as you can see, I have one of the blinds of the windows open facing down into the cage because hedgehogs require, not fully direct, but they require 12 hours of sunlight in order to keep their normal habits going because they are nocturnal. On top of this cage, you'll see that I have a fleece blanket. This is actually one of his fleece bedding blankets, but I'm covering the cage to maintain a ambient temperature between 72 and 75 degrees in there. If it goes below 68 degrees, he may try to hibernate, which is dangerous for him. Okay, well, I just wanted to show you what the light looks like. Here's with the room light on. Okay, we have a C&C Cage. This is cubicle and cloropast, which I'll show you in a minute, cage. I've added my own touches to it compared to other people, but what we have here are 3 bottom compartments, and as you can see, the walls in between, right there, are for stabilization of the top floor, which is his main cage. Over here, I keep his blankets. These are the clean fleece pieces, along with some extra cloths to pick him up with, also some newspaper, recycled newspaper fluff, so he can go burrowing, which I'll show you in a minute. Over here is his food and extra toy area. As you can see, I have put a container with his mix of cat food and specialty hedgehog food. I always keep a bottle of water for him, and below there are containers. There are several containers in there with treats, extra cans of mealworms that are unopened, extra bowls, nail clipper because you do need to clip their nails, and extra toys like extra balls and stuff. In the back of there is a sack of fresh liner that's cut like this, real small pieces, and they're cut like that so he can burrow. And then over here is the cleaning section. That is his paper towel, which I use for his litter box. Behind there is his travel hedgie bag to carry him to the vet. And that plastic thing on the bottom there is a shallow pool that I sometimes fill with warm water when I need to get rid of his poopy boots, which will be for another video. Alright, so we have some regular supplies over here. We have a vacuum, which I use to vacuum his cage out daily with the poop and the extra bits of food. He has his own trash can. I suggest getting your hefty with the touch lid because when you throw his poopy papers in there with, his litter box papers, it holds the smell in. I also use odor shield Glad trash bags in there. It usually takes a month to fill that up. So here's his cage without the fleece liner. Let me just back up a bit. As you can see, it's a large cage. It's 4x5. I made it that way so that he has a lot of room to run around in. I didn't want him wanting or going crazy. So that's how it looks from far away. It looks kind of sloppy on the lid, but that's because they're detached at one point. I'll show you that in a second. Now, this area here, this stuff right here, this is insect mesh. And as you can see, the insect mesh is fine, very flexible and breathable. I use insect mesh around the wall of the cage, if you can see that. I use that so that he won't be able to crawl through the holes because they are large enough for a hand to fit through, which gives the hedgehog, well, it's a possibility that he can crawl through there. So just to be on the safe side, I've surrounded it with mesh. I'm not too big on, worried about the aesthetic, so I actually use duct tape. And let me show you. This area here, the white wall, and the whole base is a corrugated plastic container. That is the main part of his cage. I actually had to cut it out. I bought the piece of corrugated plastic from one of the sign companies, and it's easy to cut on your own. All you have to do is cut it not all the way through with a blade so that you can fold the pieces in and simply, as you can see, duct tape it, the corners together, and then you have your cage base. The lid here and the entire cage are held together by the cubby hole locks. For added safety, I've added zip ties right here. They're on every joint, even on the corners, as you can see there. I've also added these clips here to keep the screen up. And to lock his cage at night, I use an ID tag clip. I run it through the insect cage, around through the top, and lock it every night just to be safe. The lid is made with the cage plastic, or with the cage wire, and all you do is you just don't attach them to the locks here. But this back area here, that's all locked. So you can actually lift the cage up and over. As you can see, it's open. Alright, so now that the cage is open, I'm going to just give you a brief overview on what I use for litter box and for stimulation. So we'll start over here. Rex is under here. Now he hates igloos. I don't know why, but the dude just loves blankets and cut up fleece. So as you can see, there's cut up fleece pieces here, old underwear, and there's Rex's little butt. He has a tendency to crawl everywhere in his blankie, so I'm just putting him back. So this is his sleeping corner. It's a pillowcase on top of underwear that he loves with all the fleece, and he's actually, I don't know if you can see it, but he's gathered all the fleece around him and cuddled in. He's right here in this area. So I'll cover him back up. That is his stuffed hedgehog. I give it to him because he's a male and I'm not breeding him, and I'm hoping that he'll play with it. So that's his. Over here we have an igloo. This would have been his housing area or sleeping area, but he doesn't give a crap for it. He actually dragged it around last night, so I've removed it, and I've created a stimulation play area. Inside is the recycled newspaper fluff. You can buy it at any pet store. I've put treats, those brown spots there. I put treats on top and underneath it so that he can go burrow for them. It's stimulation and it keeps him busy and happy.